Hello, my name is Tofting, and today we will tie this shrimp fly. We'll use a clear Pro Sportfisher shell on it. That's a brand new shell. We'll tie it on this new coarse salt 2586 size 4. I will give this hook a little bend, like that. Then we'll add some lead or leaded wire. And make sure you get a good secure on the wire here, or lead. Sometimes, like right now, there's a little bit of it sticking up here. And I like to remove that before we get on. Otherwise, sometimes they will stick to the dubbing. Put on a few strings of micro crystal flash. And this fly is a pretty neutral fly when it's finished, but I like to have a small part of the fly, or like a hook point, or there's some bit more colorful material or UV material. This is both colorful and UV in this one. Just putting on a make a small tail of it. And this was alpaca, and they can be a bit messy, so you can tighten it up a bit. And we'll put on this hen fiber. And I prefer hen due to hackles on this part here, as it's a bit softer and a bit more volume to it. I'll make a few wraps with this one. Then I'll put on some alpaca dubbing. And even though this is dubbing, this very long, so you can put out or pull out the fibers like this, and you can make a very nice wing of it. When I later on to the fly will use this for dubbing, I will cut it up a bit. And when I tie this in, I like to tie in 2 small bundles on like this. And there's a lot of curls on alpaca, so as you can see in the end, it could be nice just to trim the worst of the curly parts off here. And I'll put the next part on and just make it a little bit longer. Something like that. And again, just trim there. Most curly parts off. I don't know if you guys know alpaca, but I really love it, the shine it has to it. It's a bit like polar bear, but a lot softer. So it gives a good shine in the water. And for this one, we will put in some nutria for kind of like a spay effect. I like to go a bit back on the hook here. Find the length I want. And I give it a few turns down here on the back end. Now you can slowly move it around to get it a bit down on both sides. I think on this one I got a bit much of it on, but let's see if we want some of them off like that. It's very slippery, so it comes off easily. When you're satisfied with the look of it, you hold it firmly down and tie it all the way up. Then a little bit of alpaca on top again to hold it in place. We'll put up another hackle. I want this hackle to be, the fibers to be a bit longer than the first one. So find a feather with a bit more volume to it and go a bit further down on the feather. Take a few reps with this. Now it's time for some fly eyes, and I like to paint the fly eyes myself to put a little extra life to them. I'm going to try to do that. These are easy shrimp eyes. And for this fly we will go with a mahogany brown, but I like to have, when I have like all these, you can easily put them on the fly and say, does this look good? Or do I want another one? And try them on, check out how they look. And on these fly eyes there's a little casting point here, and you can burn that off. It doesn't matter if you're using it without paint and resin on, but when you put the resin on, it will give a little lump right there if you don't remove it. Then I'll give these a little pupil with the marker, a black marker. And we'll give that a bit of super thin braid-type resin. The super thin is really lively, but it's really good to make a very thin cover. Like that. And we'll leave that to burn on. And then I have given the stems of the eyes some brown marker. and then it's ready to tie on. And it might be a bit nerdy, but it's always good with all the small little details on the fly. And it's time to tie in a rib. And I like to tie it in. Just remove this like this. So it's not all the way to the back, but there's like a few millimeters behind it. And that's so you can have some dubbing behind the rib for the first turn on the shell later on. I'll go up a bit with this nylon and come back again. Now it's time for the dubbing. And we'll make that ourselves. This Naukali alpaca is made in some long ones, and that's really nice because you can use it for tails, but if you want to use it for dubbing like we're doing now, that you want to brush out afterwards, then I'll cut it up in small pieces. Like this. About 1.5 centimeters or something like that. And you just give that a good mix. And I like it best to do it this way, with putting the dubbing one way like this, and then going back again. You can put it in a dubbing loop if you're more into that. Now we're at the rib, and I'll go behind the rib. As you can see now, I got a little bit of dubbing behind the rib, and I like that when it holds it. When you come above the shell for the first time, it holds it better, so it just doesn't fall back that way. Just lock that one off. Because on this one we will use one of the new Pro clear shells, I will put some flash underneath because you can see it really clearly through the shell. You can also put some feather steams or some hair if you want to make a bit of a different background for the clear shell. You can put on whatever shell you want. There's a lot of different colors in the Pro shells. And then you can do this as well. You can put some markers on it. And if you do that the day before you're going to use them, they won't smear off. They can smear off right when you paint them. But then you can get any color you would like for your shrimps. And now I lost the clear shrimp shell. And I try to hit the small markings that's already on the shell when I come back or come down with the ribbing. And a drop of glue. Then I like to come in with my duping brush on duping needle and pull out some of the fibers here. Like so. And to me it's not religion. If you want to cut it, I always cut my dupings like this to make them a bit more even. But if you don't like to cut it, you can just brush it back and you'll be all good. And you can fish it like this, but I like to put on some UV resin, and it's for more durability on the fly. So we'll put a small layer on it. Get some UV lights. Then that should be ready to catch some sea trouts. Got that one off. Thank you for watching.